Don't focus. You're so lazy. What do you mean you have no motivation? Just do it and get it done. Sit still. Slow down. You're talking too fast. While you're sitting, get up and be productive. Now, how many of you have heard one of these? How many of you have heard two or more of these? Well, I've heard all of these. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Eshal, and I have ADHD. The way I found out is quite common, but it has a small twist. While during the pandemic, when people were finding ways to kill their boredom by either learning how to cook or how to meet their demands without a teacher's knowledge, or just shamelessly overusing the term technical glitches, I discovered I had ADHD. And how? It's an interesting story. As I scrolled through TikTok, I stumbled upon videos about ADHD, which I related to very deeply. And it got me thinking, what if I had it too? This reflection took me back when I was 10 years old and underwent a psychoeducational assessment, a fancy term for a brain test. And at the time, I didn't grasp the significance of it. All I cared about was the treat I would get afterwards and the fun metro rides there. With this newfound information, I bombarded my parents with questions. My dad evaded them, while my mom tried to protect me as long as she could. Eventually, she did confirm that I had ADHD, but she didn't want me to use that as an excuse. I now understand her perspective, but had I known it earlier, it would have answered many questions and made my life a lot more easier. It would also help me navigate through many challenges. Speaking of challenges, let's talk about school. How many of you enjoyed school? How many of you hated it? And let's be honest here, we all have some hate moments at school. And how many of you had a love-hate relationship with it? I fell into the latter category. School was a daily struggle for me, from sitting in a classroom, desperately trying to focus, to navigating social dynamics. It was a constant battle. I doodle, fidget, and sometimes misbehave, but not to disturb anyone, but just to cope with my own restlessness. But despite this, I still enjoy school. Hanging out with my friends can be fun, and learning can be interesting. And having art classes are always interesting and fun. Now, let's talk about the worst part of school, where all students despise and hate: homework. Homework is the bane of my existence. Procrastination was a constant companion. Motivation would vanish like a wisp of smoke. And the lack of impulse control made studying an uphill battle, requiring a presence of a tutor to keep me on track. Focus and self-control was elusive when I was alone. I can get easily distracted. I'd watch paint dry when I'm supposed to be studying, causing guilt thanks to my impulsivity. In social aspect, I cherish my friends, but often found myself policing their rule-bending tendencies. From what I've learned, people with ADHD don't have a heightened sense of justice, and which can be both a gift and a curse, and many times inconvenient. At home, I'm a chaotic goblin, because home is the place where I don't need to act what the world refers to as normal. Rather, I can be as goofy as I want. I let my chaotic side shine, and my parents have been the pillars of support, providing me with emotional and practical assistance. My mom understands me deeply and even helped me throughout this journey of TEDx. She knows when to set boundaries, though, and when I'm making excuses. And my dad and I, we share humorous banter, adding joy to our daily lives. And my younger brother and I are very close. He listens to me, and I care about him very, very deeply. And we have fun and roughhouse each other a lot. And though we may fight, we will always have each other's backs. In school, I receive support from the LSU or the Learning Support Unit. Which reminds me, why do we, as a society, shame those who reaches out for support? What is the reason, really? Because I don't see it like that. And maybe that's why this journey has been a tad easier for me. But for others, it isn't. Because the system wasn't built for those who don't fit the neurotypical mold. So not only we are fighting our own battles on a daily basis, we're fighting with the society to accept us. And one can expect some kindness. And last time I checked, kindness didn't cost a penny. Now you might be thinking, ADHD is a significant part of my personality. It is, but it doesn't define my self-worth. I can be described as empathetic, friendly, sociable, and passionate about the things I love, like art and history. I'm an artist who values non-judgmentalism. I accept my neurodivergent friends for who they are. They have difficulties like anxiety, struggle with studies, and lack of pragmatic skills in communication. While others may think they are rude, I think they're just being their honest and charming selves. And I always wonder, how am I smart enough to know that, but the world mostly isn't? Another strength is my ability to start conversations effortlessly. I recently attended an event at Sofitel Dubai, hosted by Optimist Education. I met people like Lewis Dawson and Daniel Sobel, who celebrated their neurodiversity. And I felt like I belonged. I was recognized for my strengths almost immediately, and I was even offered to apply at an internship at one of the leading education tech company called Nessie. In conclusion, ADHD isn't just about inattention or hyperactivity. It's a complex neurodevelopmental condition that affects individuals differently. However, it's essential to remember that ADHD isn't a limitation, it's a difference. And with the right support, individuals with ADHD can overcome their challenges and thrive. Having a disorder is part of your personality, but it shouldn't be your only personality trait. And please, do not define a person just by their ailments, conditions, or disorders. Let's celebrate their strengths and work towards a more inclusive and understanding society. Let's listen to their stories and provide them with the resources they need and give them the space to succeed. Together, let's break down the stigma around ADHD and other such disorder and create a world where everyone's accepted for who they are. Thank you.